My larger point over here, Mr. Milewski, is there is this distrust between Indian security agencies and Canadian security agencies, but we are seeing positive movements. We've seen our national security advisor, Mr. Doval, and his Canadian counterpart, and other associated agencies have interactions with each other. But historically, Canada-India security ties have always been fraught with distrust. This deficit, do you think that under the Carney-Modi relationship, do you think it can be bridged?
Well, I've said that I don't think this is settled, and I'm not going to reverse my answer on that. I do think that it may blow up and become even more embarrassing precisely because the political echelon at Mr. Carney's level and in his office, they are going to wish this would go away because they don't want to have a row with India about some guy who got killed. We didn't even know who he was, and we don't care. We're big boys. This is how the world works, and lots of governments go out and kill people. And it's sad, but we're not going to get hung up on that. But they're going to come smack head on into the legal process, which in Canada, as I say, is not corrupt. And if the prosecutor gets up and says, okay, here's what we got, and it looks just like what the Americans got, and which the Indians took seriously, in their words, well, there's going to be a problem, isn't there? And this is all going to blow up again. I don't think it's going to go away. And until Canada has a government that openly says, okay, we're going to sweep this under the rug with our eyes wide open, like Melanie Joly, and we're going to accept that, yeah, murder was committed on Canadian soil. Maybe the Indian government had something to do with it. We don't like it, but we're not going to cry about it. We've got other fish to fry, other things to worry about. When the government admits that they're accepting it and moving on, then things will change. But they haven't done that. I haven't heard a word from Carney to say...
Well, make the prediction, Mr. Milewski. What happens? Can these two events coincide simultaneously? The trial of Hardeep Singh Nijjar and India-Canada trade pacts?
Well, I will take my hat off to... If anyone can do it, probably Narendra Modi is the man. I mean, he's an enormously clever man, and he's also quite ruthless. And you can add Amit Shah into the mix and so on. It is a very interesting subject, and they're a very interesting group of men, and it would not be amazing to me or to many people. I don't think it's at all amazing if the government said, okay, enough of this. I want this guy got rid of. And somebody gets the bright idea, who will rid me of this turbulent priest? And the old saying. I think that the two things that you described could not happen together without an explosion, without the whole relationship going backwards again. Neither of the present governments want that to happen. They have agreed to let it go. Let's talk about it's much more important to the voting public in both India and Canada to have a healthy economy. Let's build on trade. Let's worry about that. We didn't know this guy Nijjar. The hell with him. They're just not ready to say that out loud, so they're saying it quietly in a room between the two of them.
Back into history, you are a subject matter expert on the Khalistan movement in Canada. And I have a very basic question to ask you. Why is it that these Khalistanis in Canada plot insurrection in India and want a breakaway state in India, but they never talk about the Punjab part of Pakistan? Why? Just explain this to our audience.
It's extremely bizarre, and I think it's inexplicable. It makes absolutely no sense at all, particularly when there are so many very important historical and cultural sites in Pakistani Punjab, which they don't seem to be interested in. Nankana Sahib is only the birthplace of the founder of the Sikh religion, Guru Nanak.
Yes.
They're not claiming, and I could go on, there's a whole list of them. And it makes no sense at all. So the real answer that they will not give and they cannot say is because it would never happen. It would never. It's completely impossible. Without Pakistani support, their movement dies. They have depended on Pakistani support from the very beginning, going back to the 1940s. And so it would be impossible to sustain their movement without Pakistan, and they wouldn't get that support if they started claiming pieces of Pakistan. They would be greeted like Trump is in Greenland. In other words, not at all. I mean, but you're quite right. It is absolutely absurd. And they hate hearing that question. They won't like it when they see the tape.